Alright, here we are for our test game in this two-man queue. Don't ever do these. These are terrible. This hand is, it's pretty great, actually. We're going to get to go turn 1 Mod Conscripts, turn 2 Mod Conscripts, turn 3 Goblin Matron into something, and, yeah, hopefully that leads to good things. Really? Not let F8? Okay, whatever. Oh, crap. Yeah, I'm actually going to turn off auto yields. Okay. Blue, white. Could be, Acid Trip? Not sure. So that was a good land because now we can play the Mod Conscripts. We can attack for 2, and the next turn we can go Goblin Matron for Mod War Marshal and go Mod War Marshal into Goblin Bushwhacker. You know, assuming my opponent lets me do all those things. I want to say ahead of time, I apologize because I did listen back to the deck tech, and I can see that I am a little low. I'm going to have to fiddle around with this mic. I'm not exactly sure. Excuse me. Actually, I could go for another Bushwhacker and just have 2 Bushwhackers, but I think Mod War Marshal is probably going to be better. Just to flood the board. I don't think I actually have lethal next turn. My opponent's going to go to 15, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, it'd be 14. My opponent gaining that 1 life actually took a turn off. Son of a biscuit. Actually, if I draw Fire Blast, I do win the game. That is something that works. Glint Hawk, returning the Sea of the Side Nod, playing the Sea of the Side Nod, playing something. I don't know what my opponent's on. It's some kind of Coldotha deck. I'm not exactly sure what. Renegade Freighter, eh? That's not bad. Not bad at all. Unfortunately, it doesn't count as a creatures towards Mod Conscripts, but you know. But we'll play it, and we'll pass the turn. This also makes it better in the fact that it's more damage, and if I draw like a Lightning Bolt or something, I get to do everything. Lightning Bolt would probably be the best draw. Like, just the straight-up best draw that I could have. Could also just attack with, oh, okay, it's Jeskai Coldotha. Got it. Could also just attack with the Renegade Freighter, but I think that's worse. Another Bushwhacker. Well, okay, that kind of seals the deal for what I wanted to do. I'm going to keep the land in my hand, just because my opponent doesn't need to know that it's there. And, I guess we'll use the Matron, because why not? Unfortunately, I don't get to add in an extra point of damage with my Renegade Freighter because I had to make one of my creatures a 2 power to do it. So, my opponent can block here and then take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and trade. Which would not be a bad thing for me. I don't think. My opponent could also just kill... Okay, so they're at 4. And they don't have another Bushwhacker. You know, I know my opponent probably doesn't play main deck Electrickery, but I think in that spot you just want to kill the Mod War Marshal. I mean, at 4 lands, you have to believe I pretty much have the mana to do everything. So, cutting me off of this dying and getting a creature back is probably a better idea. But, what do I know? I don't know anything. So I'm a bad Magic player. Alright, so my opponent left up, excuse me, Lightning Bolt, and played 2 1-drops, which was a little lucky, I think. Well, I did kind of just draw perfect this game. I mean, this is literally as perfect as it gets, I think.
Alright,
Alright, so we'll use the Mog Sledder to do it. I think that's better. Attack with everybody. I mean, I played 7 of them. It was you know, 7 in what, 48 cards. So what is that? A 1 in 6 chance, something like that. I have no idea. Oh, Galvanic Blast. Okay, that's fine. I can't sack it because it's not a goblin, but it doesn't matter because any creature that my opponent leaves unblocked, they lose the game. So actually, they're dead anyway because they only have 3 blockers. So yeah. Okay, cool. So, with Kuldotha Boros or Jeskai, whatever you want to call it, it's really not a very good matchup because they have a lot of removal and they have a lot of good 2 toughness creatures when you're attacking with 1/1s. And the other problem is, they also have a lot of ways to dig through their deck. They have Ichor Wellspring, they have Prophetic Prism and things like that. Now, although my opponent's playing blue, really, I think they're only playing blue for Mole Drifter and maybe Hydroblast, but bringing a Pyroblast to combat Hydroblast or Mole Drifter is not a great idea. So we're going to take out the Death Sparks for the Flame Slash. The best card against their deck, if left unchecked, honestly, is actually Sparksmith, which is funny enough, but could bring in Electrickery, but that depends on if they're the token version or not. So, Fire Blast is not great. I want to bring in 2 Gorilla Shaman. Just for the fact that you can get them. It's also just a better card than Fire Blast. I don't just want to bring in 1, though. Foundry Street Denizen does not seem great on the draw. For the simple fact that you need creatures to make it good, and for the fact that it only has 1 toughness, so it doesn't actually beat a Thraben Inspector. Well, this hand is awesome, but unfortunately we can't keep because it's missing lands. This hand is not that bad. All right, we're gonna get to go somewhere with it. Go ahead and go you and pass the turn. Interesting, my opponent played a... Okay, F8 worked on my opponent's turn, but it didn't work on my turn. That's... okay. I don't know what's going on, but Magic Online seems to be a little weird today. With, stuff. Lone Missionary. Oh, that's extremely annoying. Right, go ahead and play Sledder. And then I think we'll just go ahead and kill this guy. And we'll attack for 2. Anyway, I can't F8 now because of Goblin Sledder, so that doesn't really make a difference, I suppose. I just hurt my leg. That's great. Ichor Wellspring, okay. Well, Kuldotha Rebirth would be bad for me. Yep. This is why Goblins loses so easily to Kuldotha Boros. It's also why Kuldotha Boros is so popular, is because Kuldotha Boros just really, really easily takes care of decks like Stompy, and, well, maybe not Stompy, but it takes care of decks like Red Deck Wins, Goblins, has really good matchup against Mono Black Control, has a really good Delver matchup too, because just literally everything that you have is just nothing but value. So, we're going to do that. So basically we traded kind of 1.5 for 2, I guess. I have really no idea what kind of math I just did there, but just go with it. Just go with it, it's fine. Prophetic Prism. Okay. You know, just whatever. Hey. Ooh, I like my opponent's deck. I like any deck that plays Thoughtcast. Another Mogwar Marshal. Well, I think I'd rather Well, hold on a second. So flame lashing or slashing this just does not seem very good because it's only a 2/2. So I think I'm willing to sack a token and a Mog War Marshal to kill the Glinthawk and leave my creatures alive. Sec. And sec. He takes 2 and passes, or she takes 2. I don't know. Goblin Slayer is your best friend against this matchup, but you do have to watch out for Electrickery. That is a bit of a bad card for you to see, of course. But the fact of the matter is that it's beatable, but it's very, very difficult. So, which is probably bad for me. We'll see. Okay, so my opponent Galvanic blasted my Goblin Slitter. So what I did was I decided to sack one of my tokens and itself to make both of these guys 2/2s to try and play around Electrickery. Might not have been the best idea, but I think it's what I had to do. If I was on to play this game, depending on what my opponent actually has, it might have been different. Not sure. The die roll really matters a lot in this type of matchup. Alrighty. Sparksmith. Alright, well we're going to run that out there and pass. If my opponent has an Electrickery, we're probably dead. But we'll see. Well, Firebolt works too, I suppose. My opponent's getting aggressive, which is not good. Alright. Gonna go ahead and Flame Slash. Play this. And attack for 2. Pass the turn. I'm not really sure how I come out of this, because if my opponent just starts drawing cards, it's going to be very, very bad. See, this is the problem. This deck does 3 things. It kills creatures, it plays good flyers, and it draws cards. Not a good combination for goblins to go ahead and work with. Oh my god, I love my opponent's deck. I love any deck that plays Gear Seeker Serpent, to be fair. If they play another one, I'm going to have to scoop. I don't know if I can win after that. Oh my god. No. You see, the problem here is that I can take 12, but then I die. I could chump, but then if my opponent has anything and I don't have anywhere near enough damage. So we're going to have to scoop. So it looks like Gorilla Shaman's actually a lot better than I took it for, personally. As far as what to sideboard out for it... Probably just want to be more aggressive. Take out a Mog Raider. We have 6 of them, so you have to think we'll draw a decent amount of them. Alright, this hand's not bad. We're going to play the Foundry Street Denizen first because it is more damage by playing 2 creatures next turn. The thing that is unfortunate is with Goblin Cohort, playing the Freighter does not count as a creature. Well, that's interesting. I think I'll play Sparksmith, actually. Getting that out there seems like the best idea. So yeah, I don't know what happened in Magic Online today, but I was doing some practice games. And I was also competing in a standard tournament, Pauper standard tournament today. And I don't know what happened, but for some reason, I hit F6 on my opponent's turn, and for the next 3 turns, it just skipped my turns. I don't know what was going on, but it was really, really annoying. Alright, so here I'm going to attack for 1 and play Renegade Freighter. And hopefully my opponent does not have an answer for it. I suppose my opponent... They bring in Negate? That'd be excruciatingly annoying. Oh, okay. So they had Electrickery. Nothing I could do about that. Not really, anyway. But, I came out unscathed a little bit. I didn't play into it too much, which is something that Renegade Freighter does quite well. I'm stuck on 2 lands. Okay, so my opponent did the good old, oh, I have 2 lands in Electrickery. How do I lose? That's basically what my opponent did. So I'm going to wake this up. Attack for 5. And play a Sledder and pass. Just going to hold the Denizen in my hand because if my opponent kills the cohort and I draw another creature, I can at least activate this using the Denizen. So there's something at the very least that I can do. Come on, man. I know you have Hydroblast. My opponent would not think this long if they had Hydroblast. I guess maybe they're thinking about attacking, but I don't know. I don't know why they would think about attacking. That just doesn't seem correct to me. Alright. Well, wake up the freighter again, I guess. Actually, I could play Denizen and attack with the cohort, and then if my opponent double blocks... No. Well, my opponent double blocks to specifically kill it, I can then kill the Thraben Inspector or the Lone Missionary. No. That doesn't seem very good. That doesn't seem very good at all. Get in there for 4. Or 5, rather, actually. And play this Denizen. And again, we're just going to pass the turn. There's no reason really to play the land. So, well, my opponent drew a 3rd land, but it was a 2nd Seed of the Synod. Okay, that's a bit of annoying. Unfortunately, it's a 2nd Seed of the Synod because now Galvanic Blast is turned on. Mogwai Marshal would probably be one of the best draws. Okay. Okay. Cool. Very cool. Yeah. And they can't Hydroblast it? Sweet. They could kill my Sledder in response. That is something they could do. Is that what they're doing? Lightning Bolt by Sledder, I guess? Yeah, that is what they're doing. Alright. Well, what I'm going to do is... Let's think about this. Where do I want to put the Sledder is the question. I think I want to put the Sledder trigger on the cohort. Because this is going to turn this on and then I can attack with the cohort. Yeah, that seems fine. So not activate this yet. Pump this. Renegade Freighter is doing God's work right now. For real. And play this guy. And turn it on using this. Yep. The problem is I can't really attack with that for good damage, so probably double block. Might just single block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, am I really 1 off? Dang it. Am I really 1 off? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm 1 off. Dang. Alright. Well, my opponent's at 7. This Renegade Freighter's, it's blowing the whistle. Choo-choo, man. Choo-choo. You can't say if there are goblins there, just, you know, running the whole show. Oh, that's not good. Actually, that's not good for me. Because now my opponent can have 2 removal spells being Galvanic Blast and whatnot. Bushwhacker would also be a very good draw, depending on what happens here. Man, that 4 life. That 4 life saved my opponents behind. Oh, sweet. The Renegade Freighter. It did everything. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that test game. If you like this deck, give it a try. Yes, I admit, I did get very, very lucky. Sort of LSV type luck. You just ask and I guess you shall receive sometimes. So, but I would suggest try out the Renegade Freighter. I can tell you from test games and from that game, that's what happens. I mean, listen, Cole, game 1 was typical. Game 2, the sideboard cards came in and I lost. And then game 3, my opponent kept a 2-land hand. Had some pretty good cards for the 2-land hand, but Renegade Freighter did a lot of work. Renegade Freighter plus Goblin Slider and everything else did a lot of work. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy my future stuff, and I'll see you later. Happy holidays.